What's up, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more hip-hop, and we're back to react to a tune from an artist for the first time on the channel. Anytime I do that, I just say hello to anyone who's found the channel, in this case looking for a Dr. Octagon, or Dr. Doom, or Kool Keith, whatever you may call him, reaction. But yeah, shout out to anyone who's just found the channel. As you can see, I'm an old school music collector. I have thousands of CDs, thousands of vinyl. I listen to all different kinds of music, acid techno, hardcore, hip-hop, reggae, whatchamacallit, classical, ambient, down-tempo, score, like cinematic music. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Synth pop is another big one. 80s rock, alternative rock, you name it. So yeah, lots of different playlists on the channel. Check them out at your leisure, see what you think. But again, we're going to react to a Dr. Octagon tune, which is one of the aliases of Kool Keith, which I think is his sort of like original or main professional name, and perhaps the one he's most famously known by. Dr. Doom would be another big one though. But yeah, Dr. Octagon, I have the first album, though I don't have the disc anymore. I mentioned some of the reactions I've done, I've talked about it. There were a lot of CDs that I lost in one of my moves, some hip-hop, some punk rock, and some other styles, and this was one of the CDs that was in there. But going way back to the early 2000s, I would rip music, like CDs that I would get onto my computer, and then even though I've transferred those files from computer to computer over the last 20 years, I still have like all those old files. So I still have the album the Octagon Ecologist, which is like his debut album under that name. And it's funny, like, I don't know, like, hip-hop, I'm reasonably knowledgeable about some groups, Wu-Tang I know a bit about, some Southern California groups like, Jurassic 5 or like Visionaries and, Charlie Tuna and sort of some of those people I am more familiar with because I'm from Southern California. But yeah, hip-hop is not like one of the genres where I'm a little more encyclopedic in my knowledge, so in these reactions I have leaned on the very knowledgeable and informative hip-hop family out in the world, so maybe that'll be the case here. But it's one of the first albums that I encountered that has what you might call a horror hip-hop feel. It's very like horror movie, kind of dark, like scary themes, like implied violence or just outright references to like blood draining and so on, and again, because it's styled as the Dr. Octagon and the Octagon Ecologist, there's a lot of like medical horror sort of themes, which does fit with this track, which has always been my favorite track on the album, and that is to say we're going to listen to Blue Flowers, a tune which I think perfectly encapsulates the Dr. Octagon sound and that sort of flavor of Kool Keith's musical output. I'm trying to remember the year. I want to say it's very early 90s, but because I'm not entirely certain, let me just consult Discogs really quickly. So yeah, the Octagon Ecologist. Oh, is it just called Dr. Octagon? I thought it was the Octagon Ecologist, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I guess it's just called Dr. Octagon, and I guess like Dr. Octagon Ecologist is sort of like a theme, but yeah, the original version is mid-90s, or the original album, it's mid-90s, 95. He did make another one later called The Return of Dr. Octagon, which I don't think I've ever heard. That was 2003. Oh, and he did another one called Moose Bumps, an exploration into modern-day horripilation. Yeah, Moose Bumps is a tune on the original Dr. Octagon album that samples, Pachelbel's Canon. In any case, let's get to it. Is it on? Actually, no, I'm not even sure if it's on the original album. Regardless, we're going to listen to the tune Blue Flowers from the self-titled album, as it turns out. I always thought it had a different name, but that's because I haven't had the disc for a long time, apparently. Is Moose Bumps on here? I'm not seeing it on here, so I guess Moose Bumps isn't on there. Where is Moose Bumps from? Is it from the second one? No, I don't remember where I heard that, but basically it's a tune that I do think goes way back for him, even though he's made an album sort of based on it recently. Whatever, all the talking out of the way, let's get it. This is Blue Flowers by Dr. Octagon, 1995. Acidic bass. Like a broken picture frame sort of feel, sort of like corrupted or corroded elegance.
Let me show you something. Dr. Octagon, paramedic fetus of the east with priests from the church of the operating room with the strikes of force, scalpels since the Holocaust. I do indeed and greed, explore, meet the patients, back to rooms with the nurse with the voodoo curse. Holding the office lights, standing at huge heights, back and forth, left wing, swing to north, east and south with blood pouring down your mouth. I come prepared with the white suit and stethoscope, listen to your heartbeat, then beep, 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 beep. Your insurance is high, but my price is cheap. Look at the land. Blue flowers, growing by the purple pond. See the polka dots. Blue flowers, growing by the purple pond. Yellow indigo. Blue flowers.
Very different from what a lot of other rappers were doing in '95.
Would you care to listen to any more? Holding bags on down right from the hospital. It's a patient is worth to keep the germs off the turf. Cybernetic microscopes and metal antidotes. Two telescopes that magnifies eyes of a roach. The computer's a cup of coffee planet with my hand and astral planet detached. Turn on rare foggers. Cut the light on the kid and turn it right on. Supersonic waves combined and burn his brainwaves. I see the mascot of evil. He's not Knievel. Shakespeare's gone. Don't even think about it.
It's also like, it's two things.
As I go into the park,
his sort of eccentric, flowing delivery,
raining green,
and the sort of like darkly themed, insane word association of the rhymes.
Blue flowers. I smell the bees and the birds. Blue flowers. Different aspects of life. Blue flowers.
I don't remember who his DJ is, or if he's on the decks himself. I don't remember. Cutting it up though. Let me see if there's a credit. Oh, is it Dan the Automator? Wait, no. It wouldn't be. Oh, it's DJ Qbert, man. It's fucking Qbert. I should have remembered that. Because I was thinking, no, it can't be Dan the Automator. I think he's more just like a producer. Because I was thinking like the Deltron project. And then I was like, wait, no, Kid Koala. Like he was on the turntables, right? But yeah, apparently it was Qbert, so shout out to him. Obviously, you know, very famous in that capacity specifically, doing, you know, scratching turntable DJ, turntablism and DJ techniques. So yeah, shout out to him, shout out to Kool Keith, and the Dr. Octagon, like Sobriquet. Like I said, I do have, I think, most of the tracks on this album. It's funny, as I was just looking at the list, I'm not sure I even ripped the whole album, because it seems like I have like 7 or 8 tunes, but I'm pretty sure there's more than that on the album. So I'm gonna have to like investigate. Worst comes to worst, I'll try to get a fresh copy of the album, but I would like to go through more of this, and also try to remember like where Moose Bumps is from, because I didn't see it when I was just looking on Discogs listed as part of this album, but it's definitely a tune that I think goes back at least to the 90s, so shout out if someone knows that. But yeah, big ups to Kool Keith. Do let me know what you think of the tune. I will see you next time.